Hey Aquarius, happy 2020 and happy new year to you. I have taken a short hiatus from making videos, but I wanted to start the year off with a general outlook for the year. So we're going to be looking at 3 different sectors of your life, and then at the end of the reading, I'm going to read to you from the booklet. And I've chosen an animal spirit. I don't know what it is, I haven't looked at it yet, but chosen an animal spirit for you that you could potentially work with this year to help navigate anything that we see in the cards or any other challenges or obstacles you may find. You may be able to utilize this animal spirit energy. Okay, so we're going to take a look at your general themes for the year. We're going to take a look at your work and career sector, and then we're going to take a look at love and relationships. Okay, so let's see what you got going on as a general theme. The 7 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. I'm focusing in here on the ends, and it looks to me like a general theme for you, Aquarius, is going to be learning how to manage your resources this year. All right. And in the heart of this general theme is this beautiful 9 of Cups energy, which is, in the way that it's depicted in this card is clearly a celebration, possibly a wedding, possibly finding, some true happiness. And I'm kind of feeling like what I'm getting from this is that your work this year is and resources can be anything. Resources can be physical, material things, but resources can also be the people that we know and the people that we connect with. And so there may be some work. So maybe the universe here is suggesting to you that your work this year is to be mindful of effectively, the seeds that you are planting for your life, that you are being mindful about who and what you're putting your effort and energy into. Are they worth it? Are they bringing you, people, things? Is it or they bringing you a true sense of satisfaction and happiness? And it may require you shuffling some things around or reprioritizing, right? You may need to reprioritize what is truly important to you. So this year, Aquarius, it looks like you're being asked to take a really deep look at, where do I want to invest my time and my energy? With whom do I want to invest my time and my energy? What does my ultimate happy within myself look like? What does that look like with other people? What does that look like for me with, does that mean I need a Ferrari to be happy? Does that mean I need to have a little shack in the Caribbean somewhere to be like, what does it look like for me? What does my happy look like? And so I think what you're being asked to do here is really kind of take a look. The other thing I will say for those of you that tend to work quite a bit and are always, always is a strong word, but you tend to be, difficulty being in the moment because you're always planning, right? You're always planning and planting seeds for working on the next thing. Like, I need to do this, I need to work on that, right? And so opportunities perhaps get missed to have this 9 of Cups type of energy, right? To really have this like beautiful happiness come into your life, because the focus may be too heavy on juggling the resources, right? Juggling the responsibilities, and it's heavy that way. So it's flanked by these 2 kind of heavy type of pentacle energies, and you may up until now be missing out on some opportunities. So perhaps the suggestion here for 2020 is that you really take a look at how you're doing this in your life. Are you missing out on this 9 of Cups? because of this focus on the external, or because you're not being discerning enough with how you're spending your time? Are you missing out on something? Okay, that was interesting. All right, let's take a look at your work and career. 5 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. So, this is interesting. A lot of pentacle type energy so far in the reading, right? And I'm wondering, Aquarius, if the reason that you're kind of here in this mindset is because there is this, this feeling of potential lack, right? Like this, or a fear, whatever, whatever you want to call it. Maybe what keeps you here is a fear of this, of not having enough. So you're always kind of focused on, what do I need to do? Who do I need to do it with? How do I, but somehow something's getting missed, right? This is a general reading, so, use what I'm saying and apply it as appropriate for your life. But I'm really getting a strong something, you're missing something. And I think the universe here is asking you to really take a look at how you view your time as a commodity, and maybe even your finances as well. Like, how truly important is that? Is too much of a focus on those things causing you to miss finding this ultimate happy? And the Ace of Swords, can ask us to really just kind of bring in a new way of thinking about something. There's, truth and justice tied into this card. Can we get to the heart of what it is that I truly want and need? And it might require some really tough love, like on yourself. This Ace of Swords is pointing straight into this happy 9 of Cups. I almost kind of want to feel like, there's almost like a puncturing effect that needs to happen. Like maybe some kind of bubble needs to get burst or something, so that you can really step into being a little more balanced within yourself, with how you're managing kind of, I'm going to say work love. We'll see what we get down here, but it's hard not to see that with this card. And 9 of Cups is all about us finding our happy place, like within ourselves. And maybe you can utilize the Ace of Swords to help you get there this coming year. The Ace of Swords in its, its truth and its clarity and its drive and its ambition. And then we come to the Chariot, which is exactly that, drive and ambition towards getting, what it is that we want. So I see 2020 as being this is work and career sector. So no matter what happens within your work and career sector, I see a drive to want to succeed and a drive to want to improve. There is that need, and that desire exists at a very basal level. But can you overcome this 5 of Pentacles energy, Aquarius, in order to really progress and get, kind of moving somewhere with this? So there may be, the 7 of Pentacles is also an energy of stuckness, right? Stagnancy, kind of waiting. 2 of Pentacles is also a kind of stuck from the standpoint of, you have realized you have finite resources and only so much time, so you're constantly shifting and juggling, so stagnation from that standpoint. The 5 of Pentacles is very much an energy of lack, and the Chariot doesn't want that. The Chariot wants to kind of move on to bigger and better things, and the Ace of Swords wants to bring in the clarity to allow you to have that. So I think your challenge here with work and career is to, possibly it's a mindset shift with this Ace of Swords, learning to approach work and do things in a different way. All right, let's take a look at your relationship sector for 2020. This is the 8 of coins. The King of Arrows, there you are, Aquarius, with the King of Swords and the 2 of Staves. So Aquarius, what I'm getting, this is a really interesting reading for me, and this is a very different energy than any of the readings I've done so far. I've done about 9 of them so far, and you know, I kind of feel like this, I'm focusing in here because this energy of the King of Swords, of, you know, self-sustaining, right? The King of Swords is very self-sustaining. You know, it can sometimes be a little detached and a little cold. And then we have this Ace of Swords right above it. And these two energies are balancing this very kind of like precarious and gentle and, you know, full in this card, a full 9 of Cups. So if you manage, if you manage to think about having like a beautiful cup, chalice, bowl, you know, balancing on this sword, I kind of feel like there's part of you that really wants to kind of have this like happy, joyful, creative, and abundant life with other people. But your foundation, the way that you've always done things, is to kind of do them on your own, right? And maybe not necessarily connect with others. It's more like work. And the 2 of Staves, again, this 2 of Staves is like, it's like I'm feeling this push-pull. Like you want to have this, right? Like you're putting some energy out there. There's some effort and energy being put out into the universe to help you bring in probably this. And yet you find yourself reverting back is what I keep getting. Like, so instead of truly focusing on this, somehow, Aquarius, I think you continue to revert back to this energy, which is head down, focused on your craft, focused on what it is that you want to create and do, kind of up in here, because maybe there's this overall energy of I need more, or I don't have enough, so I need to work. I'm going to get some clarification on this King of Arrows for Aquarius, please. Dropped a card, and that was the 2 of Pentacles that just dropped out. So for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what clarification can we get on this King of Arrows tied to their relationships for 2020? What do they most need to understand about this King of Arrows energy tied to relationships? It's the 5 of Staves or the 5 of Wands. It just popped out, but I put it back in. So what does Aquarius need to know about this King? Let's see here. This is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. The 7 of Pentacles, which is right there. And the 8 of Cups in reverse. So I'm not getting, you know, the reason I did that was because I'm just not getting like true relationship vibe or reading from this, right? Like this is, and here again, kind of reinforced, like I think your relationship sector takes a complete back seat. I'm not getting, I'm getting like there might be some passion and some desire to want to put yourself out there from a relationship standpoint, but I can't, it feels like, it looks like that just you're focusing in on your material abundance and what it is that you're trying to create and put out into the world trumps, like it kind of trumps everything. Like it's trumping the whole reading for me, that this feeling of needing to create and do, as opposed to just be, right? As opposed to just kind of be and find some kind of happiness and like just let yourself like be in the moment, you know? The other thing that I got that I just want to mention here with just this energy of the King of Arrows is, you know, kings are fire energy and air is air, right? The swords are air. There we go. So fire and air combination there can be a lot of drive and passion associated with that, but it's short-lived and it's short-lasting. And that's the other thing I was getting with this, which kind of ties in perfectly. It's like you have these little moments of desire to kind of maybe bring in some love and probably find this, but it's the stamina to be able to kind of bring it forward. And I think that stamina gets like, you know, it gets put on a back burner because you're more focused on what it is that you're putting out and creating in the world, as opposed to focusing in on how you can best connect with people. I'm not seeing cards here that are signaling to me that, you know, there's connection with others necessarily. And that may be an area, a department in your life, an area of your life that you find a little bit challenging because you're so focused on other things, not necessarily relationship, is what I'm getting from these cards, okay? So let's take a look at your animal spirit message. So, you know, before we go there, well, actually, let's look at this, because maybe this will give us some inspiration on how to best, you know, kind of navigate this energy if you choose to shift it in this coming year, okay? So these are just suggestions for you. Giraffe spirit, see the big picture. So let's take a look and see what giraffe spirit has to say. Giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When giraffe spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing. Yeah, because the King of Swords has a hard time doing that, all right? See the big picture that you fit in. How can you fit into this? No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. Absolutely, we talked about that. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level. Exactly. And know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. Absolutely. I see this very much as being a shift in perspective. For sure, this Chariot could represent that, and so can this Ace of Swords. I also want to read you the protection message. So the protection message was intended if this card came up in reverse, but I'm not using reversals in any of the decks today aside from the clarifying deck. And sometimes the way that these protection messages are worded, it may resonate with you. And so I want to make sure that you have that so you can carry that with you this year. Are you sticking your neck out too far, reaching too high instead of looking around you to see conditions on the ground? Yes. You know, this constant striving for stuff. Your devotion to co-creating something new is admirable, but giraffe spirit is showing up to remind you that you have to look at the whole picture, not just those tasty leaves at the top of the tree. Perspective is necessary now, and that means checking in with what is going on around you and at your feet. Perhaps you are not ruminating, perhaps you I'm sorry, there's a typo in there and it's really throwing me. Perhaps you are ruminating over the worries of the world instead of paying attention to what you can do right now. Wow. I'm going to read that one more time. Perhaps you are ruminating over the worries of the world instead of paying attention to what you can do right now. We talked about being present and being in the moment, where you are to bring about the changes you would like to see. Align with your highest good and know that while perspective is important, transformation begins where you are. Do not get so far up in the clouds thinking about all the big problems that you lose perspective and forget to do your part, however small it may be, to start enacting change. For transformation begins with you. I think that that is a beautiful message to tie this reading together, Aquarius. Somehow when I do Aquarius readings, they usually end up being this tough love type of thing. That's becoming kind of a theme for me with Aquarius. So hopefully y'all can appreciate, a fellow air sign, right? I'm a Libra sun, and, this Ace of Swords, this truth, it just kind of pours out of me when I do an Aquarius reading. So hopefully y'all understand that it's coming from a place of love, and I really do hope that you take advantage of giraffe spirit energy this year, and you really take some time to kind of think about what you're doing with your time, how you're spending it, and what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly are looking for. All right, Aquarius, I wish you the best in this coming year, and I will see you soon. Take care.